enough talk because we have a special guest today. And the United Motorsports moment of the week, obviously, has got to be Ty Masterpool's first ever outdoor win in the 250. What a monumental and special moment right there. You can see Mitch Payton gets emotional. And giving Mitch Payton his 300th win. I mean, I don't think you could have scripted that any better. First win for a rider, and 300th win for Monster Energy Pro Circuit Kawasaki team, Mitch Payton. So with no further ado, let's welcome the man of the hour, getting 300 wins as a team owner, Mitch Payton. There he is, Mitch. Dude, 300. Finally, congratulations, and what an incredible story, bud. Walk us through that and what that was like just this weekend, and finally getting to number 300, my man.
Well, like I don't really think of them, like as much as people think, I'm like, how many do we have? And it gets into that, almost 250, and then 250 to like, man, we could hit 300, and then towards the end, I'm like, I don't want to think about it. And then then they talk about it, and I think it was 299 for about 3 or 4 months. And I'm like, oh my God, be glad when that's over.
We were, we had it all slated out like midway through Supercross, waiting for that 300th win, all your accolades and stuff like that, B-roll set up for it. And it's just like, okay, it didn't happen this weekend. It's going to happen next weekend. And it's incredible what you've been able to accomplish. I mean, RV, both and I know just how hardworking you are, and you've always been the team to be on. And I think your dedication, most everyone in the sport knows you're willing to win, and the sacrifice that you'll make to win. Of all of your accomplishments, are there any of along those 300 along the way? Are there any of them that stick out to you more than any? Like walk us through some of the ones that stick out in your head. That like, man, that was a cool win, or that was a cool championship.
Oh, there's so many, obviously the very first win, when we had the peak team, and that was Ryan Hughes was right there in front of us, and then Swink got him right at the end. So we just started this team, and everybody was kind of making fun of us. Oh, they're gonna get their kicked and all that. Got that one. That was important. And then obviously McGrath was just some amazing guy, right? Like he was phenomenal. And that one was big. And then probably, to win on a Cowie was big. Then probably like we'd never, it goes back then, the way you won the 125 outdoor title was, you took the 125 Supercross guys, and then you moved a guy down from the 250 class that was more experienced and had all this, stuff. And then they raced the 125 class. And I think you remember Washougal, we were there, and that was our first national title. So that one was amazing. There was, Tedesco and, Porcel and all these different things were amazing. And the one that was pretty phenomenal to me was RV's Bud's Creek race. And that was the Nations.
Motocross of Nations. Yeah.
Like that's so big, right? And that was an every lap big lead. And then also for me to be there for your last race, right? Like that was it, and I was thinking, man, it went over so quick because I was at your first race and your last race. And I'm like, he can do it another year. He needs to think about it, It's just
I was gone, dude.
It goes so fast. Cool.
Yeah, that's awesome to think about that. And dude, I remember your first year when you had the peak team, because I was a little kid and watching Swinkster and MC and and it was just so cool. I mean, you came out firing, and I just remember how gnarly your bikes sounded and how fast they were, and all of the guys were just your bikes were way ahead of the game. And that was cool. From that point on, it was awesome. But good job, dude. Good job.
Yeah. So cool. Yeah, no, it's really cool to see. And Mitch, I mean, what do you think? Like, were you expecting Ty Masterpool to number one, win an overall, and also a moto win, swap motos with Hayden, but also deliver that 300th win. It's kind of crazy.
Yeah, right.
Well, I thought we'd have it done, like I said, months earlier, so we just kept pushing it back. Well, I mean, to be honest, like when we hired him, I'm thinking like, okay, so like here's a guy of these. I consider him to be a really good outdoor rider, but can he do it? Like, like 2 days before you throw him on a 250, I'm like, well, we got to have another guy out there. We do need that. So like, if we can get him in the top 10, we could work at a top 5, with a good start. Maybe he could hang on for a podium. I mean, I'm being honest. I didn't think that was going to happen, but then there was a little glimmer of hope, at Hangtown, fastest qualifier. I'm like, hey, that's pretty good. And he didn't look out of control doing it.
Right.
And like, obviously he's a very gifted rider, but like, is he in shape? Is he this? Is he that? There's so many elements to like win, that honestly, I have to tell the truth, it was a surprise.
So Quadlock Case is a sponsor of Title 24, Mitch, and each week we pick a lucky winner that sends us a question that we think is the best and notable. And when you committed to coming on today, we found a winner for the Quadlock question of the week, and I thought it was suiting. And the question is for RV and I, but I also want. It'd be hard for you to tell your favorite, but some memorable ones. The winner of the Quadlock question of the week is Abigail _Ward5. And Abigail asks, and you're going to go first, RV. What's your guys' favorite PC win?
Well, I think right off the head, Mitch kind of mentioned it already, but Budds Creek was a huge win at 07, I believe, MXON donations at Budds Creek. Huge win for myself, also for Team USA. And then I would go back to just my very first Supercross win, period. The very first one that I ended up winning, I think it was Dallas Supercross, I think in 06, I believe. That was the very first time I'd won a Supercross. So those ones are very memorable, but I would say the question I get asked the most is, out of what was your ever best race? It's got to be probably Budds Creek, just the way it all finished out. It was like your last race, Team USA wins. I went 1-1. Perfect day.
Yep. Dude, that was a memorable moment. You were absolutely on it. It was so cool that I got to experience that. Number one, when you were on the team, and just an iconic weekend, not only for Team US, but for you personally. It was fun. Yeah. It was fun to be a part of that. I think for me, Abigail, I would say it wouldn't even be my first Supercross win with you, Mitch. I would say it would have to be the Washougal, and how we did it and won our first outdoor title. It was special for me because I was able to give you your first outdoor motocross championship, but just how that season kind of evolved. And I didn't go into the season or that championship thinking that I would win it. I thought that I was going to run second to K-Dub. And then, we started winning, we started getting some momentum, but then we lost some points. And then the next weekend we gained points. It's like one weekend we went into Mount Morris and then we were like 25 to the good, and we came out like only 10 to the good. And then the next weekend we went to Budds Creek, and then I think Sheik and K-Dub had mechanicals, so we gained some points there. So we got our points back that we lost in Mount Morris. And I remember like you and my dad sitting around the rig, and you guys are talking, and you're like, man, sometimes things are just meant to be. And from that point on, I think we kind of had a stronghold on it, but I was still kind of reluctant to really buy into it. And I don't know that I really believed in myself that I could get the job done, just because there were so many uncharted territories and I had never been there. And if you remember, like the suspension, and my dad was giving me a hard time and about how, because I was making a big deal. I wanted work suspension, and, K-Dub had it. Like, so my dad was throwing gasoline on the fire, like just trying to make me mad.
We'd be better off if we weren't trying to save money and get that work stuff on there.
That's right. So I think for me, it would be Washougal. I know it was a little long-winded to get to the end there on my first win, but it would be the win at Washougal and how we did it. It was a battle, me and K-Dub going back and forth, and I really had to earn it. And man, it was just crazy. So many things happened, and it almost seemed like it wasn't real. So that for me was my favorite moment. Again, not the race, but the championship. That was special to me. And Mitch, you're up. So what is Abigail's question? What's your favorite PC win? Dude, you have so many. You kind of already talked about
only 300.
Yeah, only 300. Pick one.
Well, I would put those two, like I said, I mean, like I've talked about, there's so many different ones that mean a lot, but, you know, like we win our first race, then MC winning the first, you know, Supercross title. We actually won a title, and then Swink locked it up too, and then we won 2. That was really cool. But like I said, then that seemed like what we were supposed to do. The outdoor thing was almost like, well, yeah, you know, Ray Blank, you're a regional race team. Don't worry about it. Like, what? We're supposed to still try to win, you know, like that was outdoors. So then we got you, and then all of a sudden it's going like it could happen. And I'm like, man, that's a national title. Like, that's like Mark Barnett right there. Like, that's kind of so. And then we got it, and then I don't remember if you remember this, but we're back in the pits, and Johnny's wife was sitting in the dirt, dropping rocks on her head.
Oh,
do you remember that?
Yeah,
it was a blast. You know, like I had a Sharpie that said RC ruled on my chest, like a little out of control, a little out.
Dude,
that was phenomenal. Like I said, so that one has to be tied. And then the donations was great because, you know, we consider that, right? I think you guys do too. That's our Olympics.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, sir.
I think to ever even, you know, for me to think that we had a guy in the race, Ricky got to go, I think, in 98. And I'm like, yeah, let's go. We're America. Let's go. And it was cool to do. And then we went a bunch of times, and I'm like, yeah, but we need to win one. I haven't got to win. And like 05 was right up there too, because I felt like that was a comeback of America to the nations. And then it comes to
right?
Yeah, it was. I had K-Dub, I got RC and Ivan. You know, Ivan rode for me, and then Kevin was a great friend and one of my best friends, and then Ricky. And I was like, man, this is a dream team. Like, so it was great. And then we come to the United States, and then we go there, and then, you know, Tim Ferry's on the team, which is a good friend and all that stuff. And I got Ricky on the team, and then my own guy, and then didn't really know, Ricky, that you were going to retire until after the race. Like, that was kind of, in my opinion, that was a quiet thing not spoke of. And I'm like, what? Like, what do you mean retire? Like, you're not done. But it was cool. And then it just keeps even going. You know, I remember drinking out of the Chamberlain trophy.
Oh yeah.
It was
your birthday that weekend or something.
And I was gonna say,
Rubes just sent you that photo.
And it was my birthday, and then, you know, everybody was worried about Ben Townley and Ryan Villapoto getting along, right?
Yeah.
They never had a problem at all. And at the end, like, Ben got hurt at that race and was out with a shoulder problem. And then it was my birthday, and we won, and we got this big celebration. And then RV's got Townley's shirt on, and Townley has an RV shirt on. And we go back there, and they slam my face in a big birthday cake.
Really?
Oh, it's a mess. So I'd have to say the Washougal and that's probably tied as my all-time favorites. Yeah, of course, you know, like, other things, like to see a guy, like I always love, like to see a guy win his very first race, because I say you'll always remember that, right? And then I'm there this weekend and it's Ty. Like, I'm like, you know, and then they were, even after the race, they're like, hey, you need to save. I said, I want to get a jersey from this one. I might frame it, whatever. And they said, yeah, we'll get it for you. And then they had it, and Ty brought it over and was handing me a jersey. He's like, hey, you should have this. You know, it's your 300th. And I'm like, I ain't taking your jersey. Like, no, you're going to keep that jersey. That's your first win. I'll get a replica of your jersey. I don't need that one. You need to save that. Like, I mean, I can imagine, you know, I was a desert guy, right? I always wanted to win, you know, a number one plate, and I got to do that. But you guys, to win a Supercross or a national and watch, like you guys say, watch TV and do all this stuff, and to see it evolve, it's got to be phenomenal.
Mm-hmm.
Mitch, before we let you go, you've had a hell of a run, 300 wins. You've had the best guys in the business ride for you. You've worked with the best guys in the business. You've had a lot of great people along the way. You're a family man. Your family has always been involved. You have 2 beautiful children, a wife. So, like, moving forward, I mean, still keep on keeping on and continuing to burn the flame. Like, what's the future look like for you? You just gonna keep running it?
There's a lot of people that ask me that, like, you know, like what I guess, you know, like probably the best thing for, quote, you know, the business or the company is, I feel like our company is like one of the, and we've been offered to be purchased a lot of times, but I'm always worried that they're going to buy it and destroy it. Right. So that scares me. So, like, it's got to be sold to someone, because I don't know whether, you know, my kids are young and they don't understand the business. It takes a big effort to keep it afloat. So either do like Troy maybe, and Troy's a great friend, and either sell a portion of it to a big group that is stable in our industry. I think that's super important. And yeah, do I want to stay? I want to keep going. Like, I love fishing, but after about a month or so, I think I'd be smoked with that.
I don't know. Ask Bones. He's still going.
Bones seems to be doing okay with it.
Yeah, but I got Bones back a little bit. I got Bones when he wants to work. You know, like he'll do whatever we need. Like, he's my reserve tank. So I look at Roger. I mean, bless his heart. Roger's a legend. You know, like, I'm looking at him and I'm like, somebody's like, how long are you going to do it? I'm like, I don't know, Raj. I guess I got to do it till I'm 75. Like you just keep going, right? And I enjoy it. Like, I like the competition. I don't like some of the politics. I don't like the politics. I get where I don't like the travel, but man, do I love racing, and do I love just what we talked about. See a guy get his first win ever, see a guy win a championship. And yeah, then it's kind of sad at one point, you know, that I got to cut them loose, and then they go on to these great things, you know, and you guys both became superstars, you know, and all this stuff. And McGrath is a superstar, but I'm like, that's the way it's supposed to be. I'm supposed to be like the college team that kind of does my job and then cuts you guys loose.
Well, MP, we appreciate it. Again, congratulations on number 300, and best of luck getting the 400. You know, it's definitely not out of sight. It'll take a lot.
Well,
of
if he's going till he's 75, Ricky, we might see 450 or something.
I'm looking at
500.
I'm looking at 500. Shoot,
Yeah,
man. Like I tell you, Mitch, if you make it to 500, brother, I'm gonna go ahead and tell you, I won't be doing this podcast. I'll be fishing 120. And so there's that. So
yeah.
But yeah, dude, thank you very much for your time. Again, congratulations, Ty Masterpool as well. What an incredible story, an incredible way to get your 300th win. That you couldn't have scripted that any better.
No, great day, and appreciate it from both of you guys. I mean, means a lot, and you guys carry on, and we'll see you later.
All right, Mitch, I'll see you at the shop soon. Thanks, buddy.
See you.
Thanks, bud.
Hi, folks. Lee Diffie from NBC Sports here. If you truly enjoyed what you just watched, you can get more news, interviews, and highlights by subscribing to the Motorsports on NBC YouTube page. You can get it all, so go for it.